Hi, this is Chris, and despite appearances, this is not a paid political advertisement. So why am I here on myBarackObama.com? Because it's the perfect starting point for a discussion of how advocacies and nonprofits might, on their websites, incorporate blogs and so-called Web 2.0 plays that do social networking. MyBo.com is indeed responsible for a lot of the current enthusiasm about Web 2.0 plays because it, as almost everyone noticed, implemented and exploited them very well. So let me log in and head to the personal dashboard page, as it's called, which serves as the sort of fixed base of operations for MyBo members. Before I click through to my profile, let me point to three aspects of the site that I'll return to a little later. First, much of the site is devoted to grassroots organizing. This neighbor-to-neighbor section is, of course, part of that. The blog functionality is important for the same reason it's important every other site. It attracts traffic and encourages participation in the form of commentary. Third thing is this little widget, or link if you prefer. Everyone knows by now how powerful Facebook is, and this widget isn't just a link, it's an interface between the two sites, between Facebook and MyBo. This kind of interface can be hugely beneficial to just about any site. Again, more on this a little bit later. So, headed back to my profile. We know, of course, that the information you can harvest here and elsewhere on the site is invaluable for purposes of advocacy, organizing, fundraising, you name it. Something as simple as place of residence, for example, works in this context to play a vital part in grassroots organizing. This panel here also serves that purpose. Behind it are state and city pages that work kind of like, actually much better than sites like, say, meetup.com. Moving down this page, the text messaging, this certainly worked for the Obama campaign. I'm not sure it's worthwhile for every organization, but what I really want to get to on this page are these links to social networking sites. Every organization should have this kind of a panel on its website, and clicking through this kind of page for each of the social networking sites, each and every one of them. That's a lot of pages and a lot of resources needed to get that done, but well worth it at this point in time. A necessity even. People have come really to expect it. So really, almost everything on MyBo is replicable for other sites. No matter what kind of organization you are, these kinds of things can all help you. But you need a center of gravity, a place to draw people in and reflect your organization's concerns, its goals, its personalities. And right now there's no better way to do this than with a real centerpiece blog. If you make the most of its commentary space, discussion will ensue, and before you know it, your page will be a community. It will be a place to gather, and that really has to happen first before you can really optimize any of the other stuff, local organizing, fundraising, what have you. The Huffington Post has what I think is an exemplary panopticon blog set up here, which is to say one blog that attempts to see everything going on in the political world. This watchtower, so to speak, is manned by a bunch of different contributor/observers. This blog, by the way, was built by Six Apart. Full disclosure, a friend of mine is one of the principals there, so I guess I'm bound to say it looks pretty good. But here I actually believe it. Anyway, this blog has had some notoriety in the past. You may have heard, for example, about Alec Baldwin being one of the featured bloggers. You'll notice right now that the bloggers are pretty much, well, relatively speaking, all regular Joes and Jills. Not Joe and Jill six-packs, of course. That would be a different site. But regular Joes and Jills. So how did they get here? Well, many of them, once upon a time, were mere commenters. But the editors liked the commentary they were doing so much that they invited them to become featured bloggers. And now here they are, rubbing elbows with Alec Baldwin. And in an attempt to be maybe a little more politically neutral, I'll switch over to a foodie site to enable me to introduce a kind of a throwback technology, message boards. This is chowhound.com. And in certain instances, I'm here because for certain organizations, message boards may indeed be more desirable than blogs. To explain why, I'd have to discuss particular organizations. So for the moment, I'll leave that thought floating right there. But this is a sort of an interesting thing, especially in staying local. to think about. The overall point, though, again, blogs, they focus attention. They open up your site to participation. And yes, participation has its dangers. You know the kind of branding I'm talking about. But if monitored well, that kind of participation primes the pump in so many ways. It builds community, it furthers advocacy causes, and then this may be the big one, indeed the greatest lesson maybe of mybarackobama.com, is it really primes the pump for fundraising. When you get people participating, you enable them to get involved, they will be only too happy to contribute financially to the cause. I don't mean to sound that the way it did, but it's true. So let's move on to Facebook and social networking tools, and then wind this up. A couple of years ago, as you know, well, actually maybe about a year ago, Facebook sort of opened itself up to the idea of APIs, interfaces that allow your site, any site, to talk to Facebook in not insignificant ways. This is a page with an article about precisely that development. This person actually built the kind of API link or conduit that we saw on Mybo, as you can see. So I'll say that this kind of conduit is not universally liked. Some people see it as a way to drive traffic away from your site rather than to it, or obviously away from the site. But these people prefer the idea of viewer farming on the social networking sites with a presence like this page, a really good group page like this one, Public Citizens, will encourage traffic to drift back to your site, and they make that play very prominently right here. They also do something that I also think is wonderful with this panel that digests what should be, if I can say, their centerpiece blog. But really, this is a terrific panel right here. In any case, which way an individual organization should go, which way it should play this conduit, there are a lot of different factors to weigh specific to specific organizations. It's something to think about. I'd be remiss if I didn't briefly mention one more social networking play, and that's Twitter. A lot of people are bullish on the future of Twitter. Its messages, as you know, are short and immediate, often sent from mobile devices. That immediacy within a already built community can make for a powerful networking tool. Twitter's most noteworthy moment so far was when Comcast adopted it to respond to customer complaints. Interesting story, which you probably already know, so I won't retell it. But you see that Comcast's still doing it, resulting in a Twitter page that's, pretty cacophonous. This isn't a discussion in any conventional sense of that word. However, this concept of being able to have a multi-participant conversation in a public space, this is, I think, a good idea and will be worth implementing once someone figures out how to do it in a more organized, less cacophonous way. So to sum up, I think the first thing to think about, as you probably have already been able to tell, is the blog or message board, which can be a crucial traffic magnet for any site, and handled smartly can enable discussions to blossom into a quality community. Next, of course, is figuring out the best way for you to interface with Facebook and other social networking sites. So beyond that, the thing to do is to stay on your toes about new possibilities, because they're coming. That's all for now. Good talking with you, and hope we can continue this conversation sometime soon. Thanks for your time. Bye.